My title says Program Yourself. It just occurs to me it ought to say Reprogram Yourself. During our formative years, we all received programming, to use computer language, and some of it was really, really good stuff, and some of it was negative. There were a lot of people in our life, adults, who imparted to us information, programming if you would, that they thought was going to be helpful for us. They maybe thought they were protecting us from some things, or they were giving us really good pieces of information. The problem is when an adult is 40, 50, 60 years old and we're 5 years old, 10, we just don't yet have the cognitive ability to really process and understand the things that they're saying. And we may have misunderstood it. It may not be that the adults meant any harm, though let's be honest, the adults often pass their problems in one way or another, their worldview, their programming on down to us, even if it's not really good programming. Now, their intentions may have been good, their understanding may have been appropriate for the time, but going forward it just didn't quite work. And so we get some limits placed on us, and some limits are great. You got to know where the boundaries are, but some limits are not so great. And you have to go back and look at those that aren't so great and have to rework them. And I believe that Christianity, in part, in a subtle way, is about reprogramming and finding those limits that were not really valid or not valid for where you're at in life now, and tearing them down, moving on, really exploring the life that God gave you to explore. Now, I'll give you 4 quick verses, and then you can think about it. But John 10:10, he said, I came that they might have life and have it more abundant. And I think the primary focus there is certainly spiritual, but there's still a newfound freedom there in that abundant life and breaking through of unnecessary limits. 2 Corinthians 5:17, it says that we're a new creation. There's something brand new to begin. There's a new freedom. Ephesians 3:20 says that He is able to do more than we can imagine through the Spirit that works in us. Yeah, watch out for setting limits now. And in Philippians 4:13, Paul says, and of course this is the famous one, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Now, do you hear any harsh limits there? Yeah, there's some ultimate limits. There's some things God said, don't do that. But do you also hear the freedom there? Sometimes we need to go back and look at the things we picked up in our formative years, and you might not even realize where you picked it up. It's just always been in your head, and you need to reevaluate it, and reevaluate it in light of the Scriptures. And if it's in harmony with what God wants for your life, I'm going to tell you to hang on to it. But if it's not necessary to be in harmony with God and it's limiting you, why not get rid of it? It's a choice that you can make as you assess those things. So a little bit of something to think about for today. And as always, give it some thought, roll it around, meditate on it. Put your comments below if you'd like a little discussion. And have a great day.